pull us up here and take this down. It's been a while since me and Michelle have gotten on here and did a live for y'all, so we thought we'd just catch up. Today, we're just talking about things that we feel are important or that we need to talk about. So, I am Julie,
I'm Michelle. Welcome to the Sisters Sanctuary podcast.
and we are also the Quantum Feather, and we are offering services. We do quantum healing hypnosis, and we do spirit guide connection, and we roll it all up into one service. So when you book with us, you will get both of us, and it's a 2 to 4 hour session, and it's to help you identify your life's purpose, to figure out why you're having certain problems in your life, to connect you with your spirit guides, and for messages to be shared. So we wanted to open up with talking about current events. And today we're in um, Ponchatoula, Louisiana, and it's a beautiful day. So, for those of you who are watching from somewhere else, welcome. And to our friends and family who see this, welcome. There's a lot of crazy events going on in the world right now. And I think it's important that people find a secure and safe spiritual place to go to get away from all the craziness. So for us, it's in my backyard. So when it's
Which is where we are now.
so if you hear all the birds singing and all that stuff, I know when it rains, it's hard to get out here, but when it rains, it's a good time to rest and sleep and try to gather yourself. There's so many things that have been happening since 2018. When did COVID start? Was that back in around 2018? Because that's around when I left working as a nurse. So all that stuff kind of. So how many years that makes? We're in 7 years now. We're in a 7 year. We've been rolling with it, and I know there's a lot of people who are waiting for things to go back to normal, and that's what we hear a lot. We just want things to go back to normal, and I'm sorry to say that things will not go back to normal, or things will not go back to how they were, because the times we live in,
Are changing so rapidly. It's unreal.
and we're at that time of change, that time that has been predicted in the Bible, that time that has been predicted from many psychics, that there's so much craziness going on. I recommend for people to try to stay close to home this year. Don't even get out and travel if you don't need to. And this isn't, I'm not trying to put fear out there. I'm just trying to say you need to stay in a safe place. So many unpredictable events have been happening that I think people need to be able to get to a familiar place if they need to quickly.
Or try to stay in your spiritual energy as much as you can to yourself.
And I know a lot of people are just going on with their lives, which is fine, working their jobs, taking care of the kids and the family, as you should be. But many people have been, and I'm one of them too. I've been overlooking the importance of the real reason why we're here. Like, it's easy to get caught up in all of the living, all of the bills, all of the trying to make money that we have put aside why we're here. So I believe that we have been put here to learn and to grow. And we're not learning and growing if we're caught up in the same old rat race every day. So, in God's plan, in the way that things are to occur, we're in the time of the shakeup. We're in the time of the apocalypse, the great unveiling, the great revealing. Our political system is just, a lot of people on the right thought once the person got in that things were just gonna automatically be better, and a lot of people on the other side don't even want a to be in a world where that leader and those supporters are
Change.
yeah,
They don't want change. Um,
that is the big thing, isn't it?
and the world around us today is so scary. I mean, you can't even go to the supermarket and say hi to a stranger anymore without them flipping out on you, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? You're almost scared to, the times have changed so much, you're almost scared to be nice anymore, to be honest with you.
Or to even interact with anybody you
Yeah,
don't know, like out on the street. I know we're sounding a little gloomy at the beginning of this.
but it's true. I
Mhm.
mean, it's a lot of people out there are getting hurt right now, and all for nothing. I mean, I'm going to bring up a point, I guess. The Tesla thing. I don't care if you hate it, I don't care if you like it, but when it comes to hurting people over a car, that's how much our world is changing right now around us. And it's just sad to say that if you go back 10 years, it wasn't like that 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's all over what everybody believes in. And especially in this country, we should have the right to believe in whatever we want to believe in without being punished for it, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
a lot of people are using it as an excuse to hurt other people. And it has when has it become okay for you to hurt someone based off of their belief system? Morality in our society has really gotten to a place where you don't see a lot of people trying to do good for each other anymore. And those who are kind of just staying in their spaces and and doing their healing alone or amongst friends. Like I can even imagine having walking down the street and having somebody walk up to me and punch me in the face for no reason, or even your children can't be alone anymore because of you know kidnapping and child abduction, and even young women being abducted, for other reasons.
And this is the world we're sending our kids out in. You know what I mean? It's almost, you're almost scared to send your kids out into the world to be their own person right now because times are just crazy. It's everybody's fighting for something different. And First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights. I mean, down the list it goes when everybody has free speech here, for one. So, and to take it to such a place where, so if you don't support their opinion, then you don't support their opinion. You have that right. But for somebody to get mad and actually start being,
Or burning down places,
yeah,
or smashing people in back of the head.
yeah.
What happened to that other lady at one of those protests? Like when did it become okay for people to treat each other like trash? I mean, when how did we forget that we're all human beings?
So I guess what we're trying to say is if you look around the world today, um, those times are upon us right now. It's almost like heaven and hell mixed together. You know what I mean? And some are choosing to be violent out there, and some are choosing to pray as hard as they can to make this world a better place. I think that's what we forgot down the line is with everybody's different opinions, we're still trying to make the world a better place. Um, and in this country right now, everything is thrown into chaos. And how does somebody live within chaos? Would be
and,
my question.
and it's not just here; it's all over the
Yeah.
world. So, what I understand, if you study the secret societies and how they are trained, they're trained to actually cause chaos because that is their motto. You know what is it? Something out of chaos. Yeah, I can't believe it. But anyway, they believe that chaos is an important ingredient into changing the world into how they want it. So, and I spoke about this before. Like, if you shock somebody enough mentally that they're able to bring in a whole new set of laws and rules and norms, which defines the society and how it's going to be. So we're at that crossroad juncture. So on one end, we talk about AI, technology, the possibility of it taking over our lives and becoming our rulers and our police system and um, enslaving us under an artificial intelligence. Or on the other side, we can bring in artificial intelligence to make our lives easier, to help free humanity from really laborious tasks that and allow people to do things that they love, to create and work and build things that they love instead of working, in a tedious job that they hate. So that's just an example of each side. Then do we want to continue with this gluttonous political system that has does nothing but take our money and take our our work ethic and our energy, and they don't use that money to help society the way that we know society should be helped. And now we're having protests of people who totally want to stay in that system, in those systems. And I know people are losing jobs and losing homes. Yeah, that's been happening for years. This started 10 years ago. So, no, unless you're affected by what's going on, nobody says anything and nobody wants to do anything. But our systems have been failing. Our children have not been learning in schools. We're lagging last in how well they are, what they're learning. Our schools aren't updated. That's where technology can come in and really help children learn the way that they need to learn, connecting them back with nature, building schools where they're actually outside again and learning in those environments.
It's like we split all ourselves up into groups and one group is fighting against the other. So when did we cross that line of not being able to be human? You know what I
Or to
mean?
come
To
together.
come together and have the conversation instead of fighting against each other. You know what I mean? By all means, if you are your own person and whether you're gay, transgender, white, black, brown, it doesn't matter. It doesn't we're still all human. We still all bleed the same. So I don't understand how we got in such chaos that we can't even have a conversation anymore.
Well, that
You know
that
what I
was
mean?
that was their plan. That's what those powers that be. And now I see people in the comments. Well, who's the powers that be? So they're challenging you to point those people out. And this is what I say: if you want to know who those powers that BR, you do your own research. There are people who are
Right.
controlling what's going on globally. Okay, some people call them the globalist. Some people call them the New World Order. There's a lot of different names for what they call them, but exactly who that evil underbelly in our society is it has yet to be revealed. But what's being revealed is what they've been doing. So you can see that by the division they've created, the chaos they've created, the homelessness, the taking away rights, people's rights to determine for themselves what they want. And as long as we're not harming anyone, why should anyone step in and tell us what we need to believe or, what we need to be doing? But we're at that place. We're at that place where it's on. And 2025 has been designated to be that year of the split. And you can see it. You can see not so much two sides, one, you know, I think you can see groups of people now starting to break off and fight for their own personal rights for their own groups of people who have the same belief systems that they do. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So you have Christians who believe in that, you know, who believe in that religion breaking off into a group. Then you have other people who believe that that God is not in a church, that God is within us and greater than anything we can label him or her to be. And there's some people who don't believe in God. And then some people who just believe in their own personal power and wanting what they feel is right for themselves and not really caring about a spiritual side of what's going on. So those are just three groups that I can see people breaking off into. And why have we made it okay, like my friend who is gay, to not be my friend anymore because I believe in support, say,
Because we don't fall in that group. You know what I
oh, we
mean?
don't believe in something that group is trying to
Right.
do, like bring bring it into our schools,
Right.
bring the sexuality into to teach our younger children. So why does that make one person a bad person? And from you can see that from either side. You know what I'm saying? Like both people are viewing it as that other person is the wrong person or the bad person because of what they believe in. And this is the chaos magic. This is how they work. They have convinced us that just because we believe in different things that we are enemies. And it's really going to show itself this year.
Because it got to the point where you started pushing that belief onto people that didn't believe in it. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're your own person. Um and by all means do you, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? But you cannot force a person to believe in something that you believe in. It's just people have different beliefs. So when you're out there in the street telling me that I have to believe in what you believe in, that's not fair to me. You know what I mean? Because my opinion is totally opposite than what yours is. So it all boils down to your belief in heaven, your belief in spirituality, and your belief in hell. The
Or if
choice,
you even believe in those things.
right? You know what I mean? But I, for one, don't believe that once I'm put in the ground that that's where I'm going to stay. So the soul
The soul has a
has
journey.
a journey
It
to take,
continues
and
on.
that's right.
That energy never dies. And they can prove this in quantum physics. I don't know why people are like, no, we die and then that's the end. No, your body dies. Your spirit, your soul never dies. It just converts itself and it becomes something else. But back to what Michelle was saying, like, let's go back 50 years when there were, even longer than that, when they were burning witches at the stake and burning medicine women and torturing females who took care of their villages through plant medicine and things like that. Let's go back to that. They did the same thing back then. So they brought in a new religion called Christianity, and anybody who would not fall in line and convert over to that, they were killed or they were enslaved. Now, a lot of cultures lost their own beliefs that they had, but they were called heathens and they were called wrong. Why? Because this church came in and told everybody if you didn't practice what we believe, they killed millions of people. What God would command people to be put to death
Right.
because they didn't believe in him? What kind of not the God? This is the same energy that's been behind all these other changes and all of these other divisive um, events that are going on right now. So the timeline split is has been predicted. Okay, so let's talk about that. Really, what it is, it's an energetic shift. So depending on what group your energy falls in, we all vibrate. We all have a different vibration, by the way. We all don't vibrate at the same vibration. We have a unique signature for our vibration, just like a fingerprint. However, there are some people who vibrate at a higher vibrational frequency because of their beliefs and because of how they've been, even their bodies, taking care of their bodies, because of how they serve humanity. And then they have other people who have a lower vibrational frequency because it's all about self. It's all about what they want. It's not about helping and loving humanity. It's just a matter of fact. It's a vibration that is lower that you hold when that's what you believe in. So those frequencies are going to separate themselves out. We create our world. We do. We have the ability to change our world in a way that we don't even understand because we have been lied to about everything. Everything. Like I'm even hearing now that atoms and protons and neutrons aren't even real. Like the fabric of our reality is not even what we've been taught. So if we haven't even been taught the foundation of who we truly are, how are we going to understand what's going on with us? Even space. They're saying space isn't what we've been told it is. So a lot of things are changing. Extraterrestrials. Now we're starting to see a lot of unexplainable events in the air. We're starting to experience shadow people. We're having an awakening to psychic abilities and telepathy. Are we seeing auras of people? Their energetic biofields. We're being able to see them. And that all goes by what you have activated within yourself from either self work or those people who really don't care and want to stay in that dense material world, which is their choice, and that's fine.
But at the same time, in the world, everything is changing. Your storms are getting worse. The earthquakes are getting worse. Volcanoes are erupting from everywhere. People are discovering um, hidden temples under the water, pyramids that we never knew about.
Yeah, look
I
at what
mean,
they found under the Giza pyramid.
look at the world around you right now, and if you compare that to 10, even 20 years ago, it's totally changing.
Yeah,
So,
and it's on a fast track to keep changing this year.
exactly, exactly. So that's something else you have to look at. We're talking about people's beliefs and stuff, but if you actually look at the world around you, we didn't have this 20 years ago. We didn't have this 10 years ago. So everything is changing, and like she said, it is on a fast track right now.
So we're getting ready to learn more stuff. We're actually, some people are talking that we're getting ready to meet those people who are from off world. And actually, they've been living with us for so long, but we haven't recognized them for who they are. Like our mental state is getting ready to change. So either you have prepared yourself to be able to accept these things, or you are going to have a nervous breakdown. New healing technologies are coming out.
Yeah.
Some people going, oh, the med beds are fake and they're not real and they're just a psyop. And no, there's a lot of new things coming out for healing, not just med beds. That a lot of physicians and medical people have been doing research on, showing, and we're going back to herbal medicine. They're showing how that cures us of a lot of things that have been wrong with us. We are actually starting to relearn the truth about what our world is.
And
We,
who we are.
yeah,
Period. I mean, and if you can't open your mind to it, I mean, it's almost, I don't know the word for it. It's almost devouring how you can open your mind to all this political crap that's going on right now. You know what I mean?
yes,
People fighting against each other, but you can't open your mind to the world around you, to what is happening right in front of you. You know, you would rather fight somebody on the street for driving a Tesla, or fight somebody on the street because they believe differently from what you believe in. But open your mind to what is actually happening around you. That's not a concept half the people are willing.
but that is a planned attack against humanity. They want you caught up in what they call bread and circuses, just like they did with the Colosseum in Rome. The Colosseum was invented to keep people entertained. I'm sorry, there's a wasp flying around me. I'm trying to get it away. To keep people entertained. Entertainment is how they keep control of your mind. Because if you're looking here, you're looking at all those protests that are going on, or the girls fighting in a club, throwing down outside for stupid reasons. Just stuff like that. When even um like actors and actresses, walking the red carpet, showing their beautiful dresses, and I'm all for beauty, creativity, wearing something beautiful that somebody created. I'm all for that. But it's the lack of empathy towards people.
Right.
It's disconnected from people because it wants your attention on that person. So we idolize these people. So people who have, like, I have a Buddha statue, I have a couple of them. People who are Christians would say, "Oh, you're not supposed to worship idols." You know, that's not the idols the Bible's talking about. The Bible's talking about the idols you're worshiping on TV, your sports people, your actors, your singers, musicians, people who you have to go buy their clothes. All their clothes have their logos and name on it. So every time you do something like that, your energy's feeding to them through their sigils attached to their products, through their logos and stuff like that. Like, people have no idea how our energy is siphoned off of us all of the time.
It's a mindset. It's all a mindset. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, and Michelle's saying is like, and not that we're perfect, to step outside of the box you've been in since birth. Look around the world, take a good look around the world, and if you see something that's actually making you have an emotional response to it, that's where your work begins.
Right.
Why am I having an emotional response to this? So, I follow people because a lot of stuff they post makes me have an emotional response. But that's something I need to work on. Not something bad about the person. I've had friends who years ago, politically, who quit speaking to me because I voted for Trump, and then later on apologized. But now we're right back to that same thing. I'm like, since when we can't have a political choice without being judged about it?
When can't we have an opinion as a person?
But people are saying
Period.
we voted for a Nazi and we voted for a felon, and okay,
In
that
which I'm sure the people on the right thought the same thing when they voted Biden in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Since when can't people come to
Make a decision
make a
about something.
decision about something and have their own opinion without somebody out there blasting you for it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's a mindset. You got it in your mind like, oh well, she voted for Trump, so I'm gonna hate her for the rest of my life. And you got people within families that actually do
They
this.
still don't
That
talk to each other
yeah,
for years.
and that has grown up together and did everything together. And since you voted for one person, you're gonna hate me for the rest of my life now because I didn't have the same opinion you had. It's not that you didn't value it, you just didn't have the same opinion. And since when couldn't we do that? You know what I mean? It's
So the program from television and music has taught people to believe certain things about other people. So the program that is running within people are causing a emotional reaction to certain things. This is a perfect example. So if you're having a reaction that way to somebody, you really need to check the program you're running on. Okay, you need to look for your own truth, and this is what we're supposed to be doing right now. This is why we're harping on it.
you need to quit blaming everybody and look within yourself is what you need to do. But you know
And
what I mean.
stop hiding behind pretending. A lot of people stick their head in the sand and say, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about what they've been doing to the children. I don't want to know about off planet space force and beings that have been working with our own governments. They don't want to hear about the slavery that's been going off planet as well. We hear so many people, wanting what we call that? Rep, not restitution. Is it restitution? They wanted to be paid back because in the history their family have been slaves. And we all have been slaves on this planet. Not just one color of
Right.
a person have been slaves on this planet. And this is the thing, they got the slaves fighting among each other. Instead of fighting them, who we need to be fighting and standing up to. Now we're each other's enemy. So, as the timeline splits off this year, 2025 is going to continue to be chaotic. We're going to see a lot of things happen. The weather, this I've been getting downloads about stuff too, and when I say downloads, it's just like tapping into possibilities that could happen because the energy supports it that's around you. We all can feel energy and read energy, and we're gonna do a course on that to teach people how to feel energy. I'm getting better at it. Michelle's better at it than I am,
I'm
but
sure a lot of them feel it every day. You know what I mean? They just don't recognize what it is. Um, that's a lot of it right there because I understand your life is busy. You go to work, you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you take care of the kids, you cook dinner. By that time, you're ready to go to bed. But there are things that happen within your life that I don't think you're realizing that you're connecting to. Does that make sense?
because
It,
intuitive psychic abilities is another sense that we have. It's we have they say we have five senses. No, we have a lot more senses than
right,
that.
right.
So they'd make people believe that no, we're not psychic, we're not intuitive, we can't read each other telepathically. These were all abilities that we've had, and that's within our DNA to have. But we have shut them down because we've been told that it's evil, it's something that's fake or made up, and so we just shut them off through our mind. But
And only see what you want to see instead of seeing what's around you, the world that's around you. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I can't even watch the news half the time anymore because it's every day you see people in the news that are doing stupid almost curse.
they're lying to a lot of them. They're up there
Exactly.
lying to your face about things.
And it's just everybody's turning against everybody and if you do believe in the creator, if you do believe in God, do you honestly think that's how he wanted this world to be? Um, and then you have the devil himself. You know what I mean? And it's almost like fighting the two together because that's what our world is coming to.
Yeah,
You know
there is
what
a
I mean?
battle,
It's a battle between
good and evil,
good and evil, heaven and hell. Um,
whether you believe in religion or not.
exactly.
It's the energies that this world is currently
That's
experiencing.
the baseline we're on right now. And over the years, I thought, well, hey, it's going to get better. People are going to go back to being neighbors. People are going to go back to being able to have a conversation with a stranger. You're walking down the street, you say hi to somebody. You don't dare do that right now. You don't dare even look in their direction. Like the poor woman who was driving her car the other day. Of course, it was Tesla. Let me mention that again. But this big old rock dropped through her windshield. She was pregnant and she got hurt. You know what I mean? And for somebody to be that involved with that mindset to go out and say, just because of this car you're driving, I'm going to hurt you.
Right.
That mindset is not, that's not a good mindset
It's
at
evil.
all.
Okay, let's just call it
It's
what it is.
total.
It's evil.
It is.
So
When you have to hurt people because they have a different belief than you, that is totally evil. That is insane.
yeah.
It's just
So I was talking about intuition. So some of the things I'll tell you what I feel like is coming, and Michelle can share hers. So I feel like we're going to continue to have all these protests because a lot of these protests should be happening, especially those standing up to their politicians about the rights of the citizens who they're supposed to be protecting and taking care of. There's going to be more weatherman, not so much manipulation. I think it's a lot more than that, but we're going to have see a lot more of that, and I think we're going to see a lot more of like earthquakes, volcanoes. We were talking about that earlier. Like that's going to continue this year. Like just the past few months, I think just in the United States, we had all these weather patterns, and there were like 72 tornadoes just in that short period. And I'm like, and things are increasingly going to get worse.
look
So
at the last few years because they've already been
so
getting worse. You
so
know
what do
what I
you think
mean?
we got to look forward to? Like what kind of things you think we're going to see this year? Continue to see.
The same things, the same things. As far as it's only going to get worse before it gets better. I guess you could say. If you believe in the end of days, like I said, look around you. I mean, things are around the world are just falling apart right now.
But they need
Which
to. I think they need to. Things need to fall apart because before you can rebuild something better. I know people don't like to see, you know, like
I meant as far as like people are dying around the world over them buildings that just collapsed in China. Was
oh
it
the
China?
ones that were built
And
under they weren't built to
right.
they were built to be shoddy and
It,
cheap material
well,
and
that's when the earthquake hit. You know what
yeah.
I mean? The buildings collapsed. It killed a lot of people. The tsunamis that are out there right now, killing a lot of people. The volcanoes that are going off in Hawaii right now. You know what I mean? It's look around you because
You're being shaken,
you
and
are.
and it's like pay attention, things are happening now.
So if you're out there just living your life, doing your own thing, one day when it does happen, um, where is your mindset going to be? That would be my question for you. For whoever's watching this, is where would your mindset be? Where would your spirituality be? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if you're
It
to a point where you don't care,
Yep.
if it don't affect you, you don't care, then that's the energy you're going to stay in, and that's the world you're going to continue to live in. But as a split happens, I think my predictions is me that by 2030 we are already going to be meeting extraterrestrials. They'll be on planet with us. for our Space Force is going to share more details about other beings on other planets, and we have trade with other planets, and um, about our abilities, about what humanity is really capable of. New technology is going to come out that's going to help cure cancer. It's going to help cure many things that have been curable, but those cures have been hidden from us for a long time. Um, I see good things happening too, but there's also bad things that are going to
Right.
happen. So it's going to be like a mixture of seeing all this together. So what side are you going to
Like
support?
seeing through the chaos,
Hmm.
seeing through the chaos right now, basically, is, you know what I mean? We talked about timelines, and I know a lot of people out there are probably thinking, what are timelines? They don't even know what, if we even jumped a timeline. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that don't know that there's other worlds with other human, and I can't say human, but
Uh,
it's
species.
species on their planets. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you want to learn about that? So as far as life today, um, I would have to say step outside, take a look around you, take a look around the world, and see what's going on right now, and you will know. Your energy will feel it. That's the main thing about energy, is that you can feel it anywhere. You can feel it in the trees, you can feel it in the earth, you can feel it in the sky. You can feel your energy evolve whatever you connect to. You just have to be willing to open up your mind and connect to it.
And quit calling everything that you don't understand a demon.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just because you don't understand something or it looks different than you. This is what we've been doing for centuries. Because a person has a different skin color, or because they live out in the woods and tribes.
It's how we're divided
Hmm.
right now.
we
It's
we
what
call
has
them,
divided us.
yeah, we call them names. We call them, anyway. Quit calling things you don't understand demonic. You need to have your own experiences. You need to learn for yourself the truth about things, not because we're sitting here bitching about it on this podcast, but because you have an actual experience connected to why you believe in something. So, my best advice would be to remember to love the people around you. Remember, we're all spiritual beings, and we're here to expand and grow, which is what ascension really is. It's growth. You can't grow in an environment that keeps you inside of a dark box.
And try to put some understanding into what that person is trying to tell you. You know what I mean? Don't just block it out because you don't believe it. Everybody doesn't believe in the same thing.
And we don't have to.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and then at the end of the day, you can say, you can have peace with yourself because you chose to listen to that person and their beliefs. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you have to walk away from the conversation believing what they believe. You
And
have,
it's about expanding your awareness.
exactly.
It's, that's what the ascension is, expansion. You're expanding your awareness to hear someone's side of why they believe something. Like Michelle said, you don't have to believe it, but you're able to say, okay, I can take a look at that and see what I believe about it. So I guess we'll finish up this podcast. I want to let everybody know that once a month we are doing a breath work workshop here at my home in Ponchatoula. Amanda Stewart, who's such a beautiful soul, she did her first workshop Saturday with us. We had 11 people. We had 11 people, and we were all laying on the floor in my house. But it's okay.
But it
That
was a beautiful day.
Oh God,
So,
the energy was so
off the
beautiful.
charts. It was.
It's like you need to surround yourself with people who you vibe with, people who elevate your energy, people who share your interests. Um, that's how we are going to survive what's going on right now. So surround yourself with those kind of people. Don't lock yourself away because you're scared of everything, and don't be out there yelling while somebody's recording you on their phone just to throw it up for for likes and views up on TikTok or something. Because people, if you notice, people really are losing it right now, and it is an energetic thing. It's because of what's going on, and I understand it. Like some people have, everybody has a breaking point. Like when you see somebody losing their mind and yelling and screaming and throwing stuff, they have reached a breaking point in their mental state where they cannot deal with it anymore. So I recommend go and do things that you like to do. If you like to do physical sports things, yeah, sure, go join a sports team and get out there. Don't sit in front of the TV football, but go join a baseball team or go get out there and be involved with people, with real people. Um, but we would like to invite you if you do want to participate in the breathwork workshop. Well, now we're still learning it. Like we went through it. It took about an hour and a half for us to go through the whole cycle of the breathwork exercises. And what we're trying to do is learn it now, like to put it in our memory so when Amanda's not around us, we know what to do with the technique.
But we have different techniques too. We have sound therapy. We have
So we'll have some people who will be doing
yeah,
sound,
sound
like we're
therapy.
going to be doing the drum circle, which is definitely sound therapy.
We have a Reiki healer. We have
Well, a lot of the people who participate are already healers in their own
right,
right.
right.
So um, they have a lot to contribute to the group and share. So when we meet together once a month, we're not only just doing the breathwork teachings or the drum circle, we're actually talking. We're building a community of like minded people in our area who want to get together and just be able to be themselves for a little while. So if you'd like to join us, reach out and let one of us know, and we'll be more than happy to reach out with
Yep.
you.
Just drop your comment on the page and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and our next video won't be so doom and gloom, okay? I just like I'm in this funky place too right now where I can really feel the tensions building up. I think things are going to get worse. Um I want everybody to stay safe. Remember, you don't have to be in the fray of it. So try to stay sane in these crazy times. And we say this with love.
Protect your energy.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you next time. Thank you for being here.
Yep. Y'all have a good one. Bye.